Hey guys, Sasha here with a channel update, and yes, I'm now Sasha, not Tiki Gray anymore, but don't worry, there shouldn't be any more name changes after this. Now, around a year ago, I uploaded a channel update, and I never ended up posting any more videos because there's been a lot going on in my life, but I still want to do history, and I've just been too busy otherwise, or I still want to do a history YouTube channel. So, now I want to focus on just much shorter content, like looking at excerpts from the books I've been reading. And just thought maybe just talking about certain topics. Well, pretty much, yeah. There's nothing too fancy like animated maps. Stuff like that, I just don't have the time for that stuff. Anyway, so today I wanted to look at an excerpt about anti-Semitism in Russia, because there's a lot of it in Russia. Well, there was a lot of it in Europe in general, like it was really bad in Germany, really bad in Russia, there's lots of it in England, France too, or I guess just say the United Kingdom, Austria-Hungary. Although Austria-Hungary wasn't necessarily as bad as you might think it would be, at least in the Austrian portion, and like the Austria part of the Austrian portion, there it wasn't as terrible. Now in Galicia, so the eastern half of the Austrian portion, now it was pretty bad there. And I don't know about the Hungarian portion, no. Hungarians oppressed pretty much all the minorities, so I imagine it was really bad, but I'm not sure how the Hungarian Jews fared. I doubt it was well, but I haven't read about it. Anyway, now let's get to the excerpt. This is from The War That Ended Peace by Margaret Macmillan, which I'm reading right now, almost done. It's a really good book, and it covers the beginning, or not the beginning of World War I, but the lead up to World War I, starting in the 1890s, and really starting to go into detail from like 19 on. It pretty much covers, it's not organized year by year, but there's lots of stuff that happens in a lot of the years, and it does a pretty job going through it roughly chronologically. And when you're looking at World War I, there's a lot of, when you're looking at the lead up of World War I, how it started, there's really two different areas you can look at. And you can either look at the July crisis and like the specific events that happen and sequence of events, starting from the assassination of the Archduke to the start of the war. And that's one thing you look at when you're talking about the start of World War I. The other area is just the general lead up to World War I, so like the decades before. And you look at the context of how the assassination happened, and the context of the events that happened during the July crisis and what led to that situation. Anyway, let's go ahead and read this wonderful excerpt. The reaction of the authorities to unrest within Russia was to blame agitators, whether revolutionaries or Freemasons and Jews, who were seen as amounting to much the same thing. In 1913, the reactionary Minister of the Interior and Minister of Justice had the approval of the Tsar when they pandered to Russian anti-Semitism by allowing the trial of a Kiev Jew, Mendel Bilis, I'm not sure how to say that, for allegedly carrying out the ritual murder of a Christian boy. The evidence was not only flimsy, but, as became apparent, fabricated. Even the Tsar and his ministers knew by the time of the trial that Bilis was innocent, but they decided to go ahead on the grounds that Jews were known to carry out ritual murders, just not in this case. Trial raised outrage among liberal circles in Russia and abroad, and the clumsy efforts of the government to ensure conviction, which included arresting defense witnesses, undermined its credibility still further. Bilis was acquitted and immigrated to the United States, where he was witnessed the collapse of the old order in 1917 from a position of safety. So yeah, pretty ridiculous. There was lots of institutional anti-Semitism in Russia. And when I say that, I mean, like, say in Germany, there are lots of people in power who didn't like Jews, but their oppression wasn't nearly as systemic as Russia's was in World War I in the years before, because Russia had like pogroms, which, little areas they would herd the Jews in where they had to live. They would oppress them, they would beat them, like Cossacks, a lot of Russian troops in general. They just looted and killed lots of Jews, and they were extremely oppressive. And that will be the end of this video. I'm looking to make more short excerpts like this in the future, and hopefully to make that new video style. It's pretty low, or it's pretty easy, so I should be able to upload pretty often. And that will be it.